In wildlife photography, there are a few things that make a really big impact in what your photos look like and how your subjects look in those photos. And today we're going to be talking about one thing that I think is possibly the most important and makes the most significant impact in how your photos look and how your subjects stand out in your images. Welcome back to Tips Tuesday. Each week we share one wildlife photography tip to help you improve your wildlife photography out in the field. And today we're going to be talking about subject isolation. Now, this is a topic that can really help your subjects stand out in your photos. And I'm going to walk through some simple tips to think about so you can better isolate your subjects out in the field the next time you go out. Now, when you go out into the field and you find and locate a subject, you've already done most of the hard part, right? Just finding a subject to photograph is 80% of wildlife photography in most cases. So when you have that subject in front of you, you want to do everything you can to possibly make that subject stand out and get the best photos that you can for that encounter. So what does subject isolation actually mean? Basically, it means having your subject stand out in your image so it doesn't get lost in all of the clutter of the background, the foreground, or any vegetation or brush that the subject may be found in. When your subject blends into its surrounding in the photo, the viewer doesn't know where to look in that photo and the subject kind of gets lost, unless that's purposely what you're trying to do. When the subject stands out easily in the frame, then the viewer knows exactly where to look and the subject has the main focal interest in the photo. And that's really the goal for most photos we take, is we want the viewer to look first at the subject and then look around at the rest of the scene. Now, how do you isolate your subjects out in the field? And number one is learning how to control your background and look at and recognize your background. And this is something that a lot of beginners don't do. People just starting out in wildlife photography go out, find the subject, take the photos without actually looking and recognizing what the background is. If you start to recognize and look at your background, analyze your background as you're taking the photos, before you're taking the photos, your images and your subjects are going to stand out a lot more in your photos that you take. Now, we can't always control where our subjects are in the photo or where they are in the habitat, but there are a couple of things you can look at in the background to help you kind of position yourself appropriately. The best backgrounds most of the time are a clean background, so not one where there's a bunch of little sticks or foliage right behind the subject. That can be pretty distracting in the photo and take away from your subject. If you notice that you have maybe a stick poking out right behind your subject, we'll change your position just slightly so that that stick is now not right behind or not coming right out of the back of the bird. If you have maybe a bright section in the background and you want to kind of use that to silhouette the subject, you can position yourself that way. Pay attention to what the background is looking like so that you can adjust your position left or right just slightly. A lot of times that's all you need to be able to clean up the background or adjust it slightly to help your subject stand out. Remember that when you're taking a photo, you're not just taking a photo of the subject. You want the entire scene to help kind of tell a story about that subject in that environment. The next key thing is you want to try to make it so that the background is as far behind your subject as possible. As you have that separation between your subject and the background, you're going to have that background be defocused and be blurred out, and it won't be as distracting. The farther away the background is from the subject, the less in focus it's going to appear, and the more your subject is going to stand out. And really, background distance is one of the easiest ways to help your subjects stand out in your photos. If you're able to somehow have your subjects step away or move away from that background, it'll help them stand out really well. And you can do this by changing your position, getting higher or lower, based on where the subject is, to help kind of push that background farther away. And again, sometimes all it takes is just a little shift in your positioning. This is where the topics we've talked about previously in the field technique section of learning how to position yourself and looking at animal behavior and movement so you can position yourself at the right angle, either low to the ground or maybe kneeling, sitting, whatever it may be, and then trying to position yourself ahead of where that subject's moving so they can naturally move closer to you and help push that background farther away. A lot of times it really surprises people just how a small shift in your positioning really adjusts your background, especially when you're using long telephoto lenses. Everything gets so compressed, and just small shifts really make a big difference. And in some instances, you can't push that background farther away. So one trick you can do is actually use your foreground elements. So if you are able to position a foreground element close to your lens, far away from your subject, you're going to be able to kind of create the illusion of a blurred out background by using your foreground elements. It's going to help have the subject nice and crisp and in focus. And then the areas around your subject are going to be out of focus because you're shooting through that foreground element. You can use brush and vegetation to shoot through to help kind of isolate your subject and make it so that is the center of attention. The goal isn't to add more distracting elements to your photos, it's to help kind of focus attention in on your subject. So how do you implement this out in the field, right? When you first locate your subject, go ahead and take that one photo so you actually have something in your camera. But then immediately go ahead and look at the background. Are there any distracting elements in the background? Any sticks coming out of your subject? Anything that's, causing it to be distracting and taking away from your subject? If there is, look at how you can reposition yourself, either moving a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. Do you have to go down lower, have a higher perspective? What do you need to do to adjust how that background looks? Next, is that subject moving? Well, is it moving in a location where it'll help to push the background farther behind the subject? If it is, how and where should I position myself so that that background is then farther away behind the subject? And how can I position myself there to allow me to take that photo? Just a few seconds of observation can really help you plan ahead your shots and help your subject be more isolated out in the field. And one of the easiest ways to do this in a practical sense is set yourself up in locations, if you're photographing birds, for example, set yourself up in locations where there are different perches in front of you that are allowing the background to be farther away. This allows you not to have to move anywhere, and the birds can naturally come to those perches. And when they do, it allows you to get that photos with some nice separation. Or set yourself up in a position where there's a nice isolated area where if a subject moves into that location, the background will be nice and far. You've kind of already planned what the background will look like, and you can just wait for the subjects to move into that area naturally. A lot of times when you're chasing subjects to try to get photos of them, they're going to be moving into areas of cover. And that's going to mean that you're not going to be able to have the background farther away. You're going to have more distractions in your frame, and it's going to be a lot harder to have an isolated subject. And as you can see, this is where everything kind of gets tied together here. We've talked about positioning yourself, predicting wildlife behavior, allowing subjects, recognizing how subjects are moving in front of you and positioning yourselves ahead of that subject. And then when you tie in using the light in the area as well, you're going to be able to really have some photos that not only tell a story, but are actually allowing the subject to stand out in those photos as well. Isolation is one of the easiest ways and makes a huge difference in what your photos look like and how your subjects look in your photos. It doesn't require new gear, it just takes a little bit of practice to recognize different things out in the field so you can help your subject stand out and be the focal point in your photos. If you're struggling to see these changes in real time in your photos, these are exactly the topics I talk about in my online mentorship courses. I have them down below if you're interested. Otherwise, that's it for this week's Tips Tuesday video. I'll see you in the next week Tips Tuesday video, where we're going to be talking about how to approach wildlife without disturbing them. I'll see you then.